If you think that, like, that team, well, that orange haired hubby, like, he bringing up phones or whatever, whatnot. But the phones is old as ever. Those phones came out in 2024, July 1st. For real though, I'm telling you. And that's on real. I mean, like, and plus, people like information getting leaked from that phone. For real though. I mean, like, a few people got those phones or whatever, whatnot. And it's not even made in America. It wasn't made in America. It was made in Taiwan. For real though. Anyway, like, actually just like, got all these people out their money so they could, like, get this phone so they could, like, continue on, like, collecting your information. And that's some crazy shit. For real though. Anyway, now, it's like, the crazy shit. This cop, like, like, was talking a whole lot of, like, bullshit up in this, like, cruiser or whatever. And he said, like, fuck the, like, Somali community, fuck the Somali and the Latino community. For real though, that's what he said. He said that shit. For real though, it was crazy as hell. He went on a racist run or whatever, whatnot, and it just got in trouble for saying that shit. For real though. And they, like, held this as accountable for it, and this has resigned from work or whatever, whatnot, because, like, of his racist shit. The racist shit that he was saying or whatever, whatnot. For real though. Anyway, this, like, female officer actually went after this, like, teenager boy, and she, like, slammed him down on the ground and started punching him all up in his face and stuff like that or whatever. When he was in, like, actually, like, resisting or nothing like that, she just beat his ass for the fun of it or whatever when I read him. And that was crazy, and she didn't give a damn that she was getting recorded or whatever whatnot. And they asked just, like, returned her somewhere else. They didn't even, like, hold her accountable or nothing like that. They didn't even fire her or nothing. For real though, that's some crazy shit. That's really crazy. And that's on real. Real though. Anyway, this lady, like, actually started messing with this woman, like, saying up in the neighborhood or whatever, whatnot, and, like, try to accuse her for not, like, being in that, like, being part of the neighborhood or whatever. Like, she thought she wasn't a resident. But the lady already told her she lived, like, 5 blocks down or whatever, whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, she. And the lady, like, just, like, said she was going to start calling the police or whatever. She was, like, racist with it or whatever, whatnot, because she wanted to see what the hell she could get away with. Even if, when it was on camera, like, you know what I'm saying, they thought, like, the other people was making it up about what she was doing, and her ass got sued, and this, because this lady was a lawyer. She didn't even know this lady was a lawyer. She fucked up when they ended up in court. She, like, had to pay $50,000, and she had to go to a program. You know what I'm saying? For real though. I mean, that shit, like, stop, like, being racist or whatever when I, you know what I'm saying? And that was, like, something, that was something else, for real. That was great. That's something, like, cool shit that the lady, like, stood up for herself. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Because, like, that should be crazy as hell when they, like, actually have the evidence on camera and the police don't even do shit about it. And that's some crazy shit. For real though. So I'm glad that shit happened. Oh, anyway. Yeah. I mean, I said, now, there's, like, police officers in Ohio, like, started, like, harassing a teenager. Why? Because he thought that, like, teenager, like, shot at somebody. But no, she shot at the ground. He up there trying to saying that she was a criminal or whatever when I, you know what I'm saying? But nah, he didn't do none wrong. She you know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't think she had a blick on her. Real though. Because yeah, I didn't see no blick on nothing like that. He just assumed shit. He just was assuming shit, and both the police officer was up there just saying some crazy shit to the teenagers or whatever whatnot, and they just moved on, went on about their business because it wasn't no hostage or nothing like that. It wasn't no situation like that at all. So they had to get the fuck on or whatever whatnot. For real though, and that's on bro. Anyway, now this woman son called her ass up there saying some racist shit to him or whatever or not. He recorded the shit. And it was crazy as hell. And she actually was being racist like a motherfucker. She told them to get out of her house and all that shit. Called them that N-word or whatever went on, you know what I'm saying? But she looked like she was happy when she was holding up her grandchildren up in the picture or whatever went on, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to her son or whatever went on, you know what I'm saying? And she just showed hatred or whatever went on. She just told them to get up out of her house, with that N-word or whatever went on. I'm gonna say the word because I don't get no fuck. I'm gonna say the word. She said, "Get out my house, you nigga," or whatever. But she said it differently with that E-or shit. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, so yeah, I mean hell, she got plenty of black female workers fired and shit. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now she gotta go to a meeting in HR or whatever or whatnot to you know what I'm saying, so they could see, you know what I'm saying, what they was talking about or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? For real though, that's some crazy shit. But then she said she was gonna wear a shirt with her son and her two grandsons on it or whatever whatnot. See if that got, see what that do and shit like that. For real though. I mean that shit crazy as hell though. You know what I'm saying? But shit, I hope they get the information that they that they seeking or whatever on her ass. For real though. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so now I'ma just you know what I'm saying, go ahead and chill with my brother, play some Call of Duty or whatever or not. You know what I'm saying? Might end up looking at some funny skits and shit like that, or I might look at some other shit, you know what I'm saying? About some you know what I'm saying, it's some documentary type shit or whatever or whatnot. But other than that, I'ma just go ahead, chill, go ahead eat my lunch or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? For real though. But Brody, you wanna go ahead and play the game? So yeah, we gonna play the game or whatever with that. And shit, because I'm gonna be oh shit, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing or whatever whatnot, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, I mean I said I'm gonna check out some other shit or whatever whatnot. That shit, but hell no, I mean hell, I just you know what I'm saying, say just put some shit up though that's you know what I'm saying, just that's really fucking important or whatever whatnot, you know what I'm saying? For real though, I mean shit that because that shit is getting out of hand, and it's been getting out of hand like a motherfucker because they still doing the same shit. I mean it's crazy, gang. It's crazy as hell. For real though. But shit, the shit it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop at all. For real though. I mean shit that children figuring out the racism and shit, even the babies and shit, they not supposed to be going through that shit, but they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Real though, and that shit is crazy. They out of pocket for that shit. Real though, that's some crazy shit. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the bell on notifications so you see my next upload and my next post. And I'll make sure I make it on my tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like, gang. So long, farewell, goodbye.